If you have never failed in life, then you probably are one of the most unsuccessful person on planet Earth. But don't worry, life does not give us that option. We all fail. Right from the time we are born till the time we die, we will fail. Sometimes we'll fail at multiple things at the same time. Sometimes we fail at one thing multiple times. You see, the most successful people on earth are also often the ones that have failed the most. But what sets them apart is that the failures actually didn't stop them. So if you are failing at something in life right now, or you think you're failing in life itself, then you, my friend, have got one of the greatest teachers in the history of mankind, giving you private lessons on how to be successful. Because failures are meant just for that. They are meant to teach us how not to do things so that we learn how to be successful. We've all heard of Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb and his multiple failed experiments before he was successful. And he once famously said, "I did not fail 1,000 times. I just figured out 1,000 different ways of how not to do it." So we all know that failures are actually good. They teach us something that we don't know, and they are a stepping stone towards success. Now, if that's the case, then why do we fear failure so much? It has a lot to do with growing up. Now, think of a small kid that is learning how to walk. The kid learns or tries for hours every day, maybe for days, for months, in fact. And in the process, they end up hurting themselves so many times. They fall down, skin their knee, bump their head, and they cry because it's really painful. But what happens is they don't stop trying. They keep trying until one day they can walk by themselves. Now, as you grow older, you become more aware of the world around you. And in that process, you learn something called as consequences of failure. Now, that is what puts the fear of failure in us. As we grow up in life, the consequences is what frightens us more than the task itself or the failure itself. Failing at your exam, failing in that interview, or failing in the relationship that you're in. Now, it's a natural process. It comes with growing, so it's not like we're doing something wrong. As you become more mature and more aware, it is natural to develop that fear of consequences of failure. But it would be a nice thing to go back and think how you used to when you were younger and not get too worked up about the consequences. Because if you were to do that, you will become an unstoppable force, just like the kid who's learning how to walk. So how do you go about doing that? How can you reverse this process of growing and become more like how you used to be when you were younger? Now, I can give you 5-6 different tips, like wake up early in the morning, do 30 minutes of meditation, do some self-reflection, forgive yourself, believe in yourself, and all that's good. But the problem with that is, once that routine starts to get old after a couple of days, you will find yourself back to square one, on the third day. So, instead, I would recommend that if you want to think more like how you used to when you were younger, you need to start behaving more like how you used to when you were younger. Now, I'm not telling you to become immature, but one of the good things that we used to do when we were really young is always try new things. We were always curious about trying something new. We wanted to try the new game, we wanted to try the new dish, try new friends, try a new place. And in that process, we always learned so much about the world around us. But as we get older, what happens is we then only do things that we know we're good at, because we want to put ourselves in that comfort zone, and we don't want to, or we avoid doing things that we know we're not good at. But in the process, you've trained your brain to think more of the consequences. Because if you only stick to doing things that you're good at, then the process in itself comes very naturally to you. And so your brain really doesn't have to work hard to think what to do next. And because that is very natural, your brain is now preoccupied with the consequence of a failure. The stakes are high because everyone knows that you're good at it. And so it will be really embarrassing to fail at something that you are really good at. So over a period of time, you've untrained your brain in trying new things out. And so if you want to train your brain again, simple thing to do is try one new thing every week. It could be anything. You could try bungee jumping. You could try learning the guitar or learning to play a song on the guitar. Anything that you think you might fail at. Now you do want to give yourself some chance of success or winning at that activity. But mostly you should know that it should be something where chances are that you will fail. Try something new every week. What's going to happen, you will see, is that because you're trying to learn something new, your brain is occupied on concentrating on the task at hand and not so much about the consequences of failing at it. And over a period of time, after doing this for months and years, you've now trained your brain to stop thinking about the consequences as much as it did earlier. And this then will translate into the really big and important things in life too. When you take up something big in life where the stakes are really high, because you've trained your brain to concentrate more on the task at hand, you will do just that. And by doing that, your performance is going to be much better, you will feel more relaxed, and the consequences of failure are not going to trouble you. So I make videos on personal finance and personal growth. So if you like this kind of content, please like and please subscribe. And as I always keep saying, race only against yourself, because then you will always win. See you in the next video.